Imagine a world where millions of soldiers are locked in brutal trench warfare, facing machine guns, poison gas, and relentless artillery bombardments. The air is thick with the smell of gunpowder and the cries of the wounded. The ground is a muddy quagmire, filled with barbed wire and the remnants of shattered lives. This was the grim reality for countless men who found themselves on the front lines of World War I. Join us as we journey through history to uncover the full story of World War I. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in June 1914 set off a chain reaction of alliances and rivalries, leading to the full-scale eruption of World War I. The world watched in shock as Europe descended into chaos. Trench warfare defined World War I, creating a brutal stalemate that lasted for years. The trenches stretched for miles, a labyrinth of barbed wire and mud where soldiers faced constant danger. Soldiers lived in squalid conditions, battling not only the enemy but also disease, lice, and the omnipresent mud. The trenches were often flooded, turning them into quagmires that made movement difficult and life miserable. Rats were a common sight, feeding on the corpses of fallen soldiers. These trenches were scenes of unimaginable horror, from relentless shelling to deadly gas attacks. The constant bombardment created a nightmarish landscape with craters and shattered earth. Gas attacks added another layer of terror, as soldiers scrambled to put on their gas masks in time. The psychological toll was immense, with many soldiers suffering from what was then called shell shock, now known as PTSD. World War I saw the introduction of terrifying new weapons. Machine guns, tanks, and chemical weapons transformed the battlefield. We'll take a closer look at how these innovations changed warfare forever and the devastating impact they had on soldiers. From the Battle of the Somme to Verdun, we'll explore the major battles that defined the war. These confrontations were characterized by immense casualties and strategic stalemates, each leaving a lasting mark on the course of the conflict. World War I was a truly global conflict, drawing in nations from every corner of the globe. We'll examine how countries like the United States, Japan, and the Ottoman Empire became involved, and the far-reaching consequences of their participation. The war took a tremendous toll on human life. Millions of soldiers and civilians perished, and countless more were left physically and mentally scarred. We'll share some of the personal stories that highlight the war's devastating impact on individuals and families. The war finally ended on November 11, 1918, but the peace that followed was fraught with difficulties. The Treaty of Versailles aimed to prevent future conflicts, but instead laid the groundwork for World War II. We'll discuss the treaty's controversial terms and its long-term effects. World War I reshaped the world in countless ways. It led to the collapse of empires, the redrawing of national borders, and significant social and political changes. We'll explore how the war's legacy continues to influence our world today. World War I was a cataclysmic event that reshaped the world in ways that are still felt today. It was a conflict that involved nations from across the globe, bringing unprecedented destruction and change. The war left an indelible mark on history. By delving into its causes, we uncover the complex web of alliances, political tensions, and nationalistic fervor that set the stage for such a massive conflict. The brutal realities of trench warfare, the introduction of new and deadly technologies, and the immense human cost are stark reminders of the war's devastating impact. Understanding these aspects allows us to better appreciate the sacrifices made by those who lived through it. Millions of soldiers and civilians endured unimaginable hardships, and their stories of bravery and resilience continue to inspire us today. Memorials and monuments around the world stand as testaments to their courage and the profound losses suffered. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of history's most pivotal conflicts. Reflecting on World War I not only honours those who came before us, but also helps us learn valuable lessons to prevent such tragedies in the future. Let us remember and strive for a more peaceful world. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell for more deep dives into history's most fascinating events.